Hi Wisdom Tree Preschool. Today we're going to learn how to tack up a horse before you go out to ride. So first I'm going to start with brushing Charlie down. Just like a few videos ago we talked about grooming, just to get all the dirt off so it doesn't irritate his skin when I put all the tack on. The first piece of equipment that we're going to start with is our saddle pad. The saddle pad gets put directly on your horse's back. It just helps to protect rubbing and friction from the saddle. It also absorbs the sweat and protects the saddle from getting ruined. So you always want to place your saddle pad on top of the horse's withers, just like that. The next piece of equipment is your half pad. So your half pad just adds a little bit more cushion and a little bit more protection to your horse's back. You're going to put it directly on top of your saddle pad, line it up with the withers. This also can sometimes help make the saddle fit a little bit better. The next piece of equipment is our saddle. So this is the English saddle like we had gone over in our previous videos. You want to gently put your horse's saddle on their back. You don't want to drop it down hard. Sometimes that can hurt them. And then what you want to do is you want to pull up your saddle pads into your saddle. That way it doesn't squish the withers. Next is our girth. This is what helps keep the saddle on your horse. So what you want to do is when you put your girth on, you want to put it underneath the little strap on the saddle pad. That way when you're riding, your saddle pad doesn't slide backwards. And what you also want to do is always put the girth on the very last hole. That way you are able to go to the other side and get the girth on. And always walk around the front of your horse. Be careful when you reach underneath the belly. And again, you're going to put your girth through the strap and on the very last hole. That way it's not too tight and you're able to get it on. And then when you're done and you walk out to your ring, then you can tighten up your girth even more. The last piece of equipment that I'm going to use is a bridle. So first I'm going to unclip the cross ties, put the reins over Charlie's head. That way in case he decides to walk away, I can grab him. I'm going to take off his halter and grab his face with my right hand just so he can't lift it up. I'm going to take my bridle and I'm going to grab it with my right hand. And my left hand is going to come underneath the bit and I'm going to slide it into his mouth. And then I'm going to reach and put the bridles over his ears, and Charlie was very kind to put his head down for me. And then going to make sure that the cheek pieces of the bridle are on the outside of the nose band, as you can see what I'm doing now. And then what I'm going to do is take my throat latch and just buckle it in and make sure that I can fit my fist in there so it's not too tight and choking him. And then my nose band I'm going to also clip, and I'm going to make sure that I could fit at least about 2 fingers in there just to make sure it's not too tight on him and it's not hurting his nose. Now we're going to quickly go over the Western tack. So this is the Western saddle pad. As you can see, it is much bigger than the English saddle pad, and that's because the Western saddle is a lot bigger than our English saddle. So just like with our English saddle pad, we put the Western on right on Charlie's withers. That way it's in the correct spot. And then we're going to take our Western saddle. As you can see, it's a lot bigger than the English. And again, we're going to gently place it on Charlie's back. That way we don't accidentally hurt him. And I'm going to then pull the saddle pad into the saddle so it's not rubbing or crushing his withers, just to make him more comfortable. Next, we're going to tighten our cinch or our girth. Again, it's just going to keep your saddle on your horse. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it through the metal buckle on both sides, and we're just going to loop it around a couple of times. And we're just going to make sure it doesn't get too twisted, and just in case it does, just like how it did there, I'm just going to fix it up so that it doesn't hurt Charlie's side. Then I'm going to pull and make it a little tighter, and then the last little ring, I'm going to make a loop with the end. Tighten him up a little bit more, but not too much, and pull it right on through. And again, when we go out to ride, we're going to make it a lot more tighter. Thanks, Wisdom Tree Preschool, for learning how to tack with me today. We'll see you next time.